we really try to focus on.
Afolabi, thank you very much for joining us from Abuja.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to the Rainforest Summit that is starting in Brazil. Leaders of 8 nations meeting to tackle pressing challenges facing the Amazon. It's the first time in 45 years there's been a meeting like this on combating crime, as well as deforestation and climate change as well, of course. Let's talk to Rachael Garrett, Moran Professor of Conservation and Development at Cambridge University. Very good to see you. I wonder first if you could explain what changes have happened in Brazil and the rainforest since President Lula came back to power.
Well, it's too early to tell what has happened in terms of significant deforestation reductions, but it seems the initial signs are that already there has been less deforestation, but most importantly, there's a lot of excitement about what's to come because Lula has taken over after Jair Bolsonaro and Michael Temer, who both rolled back deforestation control in the region, and Lula's committed to zero deforestation in the Brazilian part of the Amazon basin and has really been a crucial leader in trying to gather together nations and promote greater deforestation control and greater overall ecological integrity of the basin on which the entire world depends.
There is still this great demand, though, for cattle, for food products, for agriculture in this region. How do you begin to overcome that demand?
Well, I think it's a bit of a false narrative, actually, that we need all of this land for food production, because what's happening right now is that a majority of the cleared area goes to cattle ranching, and the cattle ranching is very, very low productivity system. And it doesn't actually earn Brazilians or other Amazonians much money. And it's kind of linked to this broader, very false development narrative that they need to clear this land to produce food and to produce money because it's not doing that. And so you can actually greatly intensify existing cattle ranching in the region and produce more than enough food for the global demand for cattle products. You can also continue to increase production for soybeans and things like that on already cleared areas. There's plenty of already cleared areas. And then there's issues like mining and energy that can be done more sustainably. So there's no need to clear more land because everything can be done better. And what Brazil really needs right now is actually a new economic development model because the existing approach is actually not bringing widespread benefits to the region.
Rachael, I've been listening to various voices from Belém over the past few days, and a lot of people are saying there's a different kind of excitement this time, that there really is a feeling that things might change. Is that partly because there's a sense that there might be some more joined up thinking now, that there's a different sort of feeling of cooperation amongst the leaders and the groups that are there?
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, I wasn't able to be there. I was going to, but I've heard really good things. And I think what's really unique this time is that there's a new vision for what people actually want. So it's not just about what's bad and what shouldn't be done. There's a greater clarity of what's needed. So first of all, greater commitments from the international community in the way of carbon and biodiversity funding are essential. And the Amazon basin has a huge potential to increase restoration and continue with avoided deforestation to achieve those benefits for the world. But there's also a new vision of what do we want the economies to look like? What's the future going to be? And there's a lot of new ideas about how to build things like socio-bioeconomies that build on the unique values of the region across the entire basin. And it's going to be different in all the different parts of the Amazon, but things that build on the cultural heritage and the unique cultural and biodiversity there to develop new value chains for both domestic and international markets, to create better urban and rural linkages, to take advantage of the waterways and keep them healthy and connected to grow the sort of sustainably harvested use of fish in the region. And there's all sorts of potential medicinal value and cosmetics value chains and things like that. And so all of a sudden you have less focus on just what's bad, but what's good out there and what's coming from the Amazon and how the international community, as well as the national actors, can help be a part of that solution.
We'll have to wait and see, but we are closely watching the Belém summit. Rachael Garrett, thank you very much for joining us.